There. That should be better. Damn microphone settings. Kill me.
Fake it to Pena. Aller, sideline. Oh, it's picked! Dylan Thieneman calls game. That's a walk-off whiteout winner.
Down today. This is the play of the game. And it is going nowhere. The Bruins have stopped the Nittany Lions. Final play of the game, barring a penalty. Aller, there's the hook. And the lateral. And the ball game is over. The Bruins of UCLA at home win their first game of the year.
And it's Komolafe into that unbalanced look. He breaks free. Touchdown Northwestern. Komolafe sneaks out of there. Wildcats in front. If they want any thought of the playoff. With Aller on the sideline and Strunkemeyer. On a 4th and 3. He takes off. Strunkemeyer is popped short. Northwestern gets there again.
That is right, everyone. Welcome in here to Quacking Off with Ben and Spaz. It is just me, Ben, because someone needs to send out a welfare check for Spaz. I don't know where he is. So we will do what we can here on this live stream with only 50% of the commentary. Very professional around here. But I do appreciate everyone being here or watching later on. So if you can, please do consider hitting that like button. It doesn't hurt you at all. It helps us a lot. And if I am able to persuade you somehow through the show, minus the mic setting issue at the beginning, if I can persuade you to hit that subscribe button, even better, even better. Or follow us on Twitter. There's a link down to it in the description of this video. So please feel free to go over there and follow us on Twitter. All right, so we've got a few things to go into. I was going to get into it with Spaz, but of course he is not here right now. So there have been obviously multiple coaching firings this year, primarily, of course, Virginia Tech, Oregon State, now Penn State. So you have to look at it in a very interesting scenario, and I apologize. As good as UCLA has been, I forgot UCLA did fire Deshaun Foster also. So that was the other big one. One of the big things that we have to look at, I think, in a way, is what does Penn State really want to do with this type of coaching search? Because we can look at Wisconsin, for instance, and Luke Fickell. I think that is very close to coming to an end. I legitimately, I think so. I know they just gave him a 1-year extension, but everyone kind of wrote that off as like Wisconsin always does that. Kind of like a vote of confidence, but it doesn't cost them much, basically. But I mean, I understand the argument. A lot of people said, why now, but why wait? So it's kind of a double standard type of situation. I don't know if that's the correct term, probably not the best terminology for that, but yeah, why not just let James Franklin ride out the rest of this year, let the buyout go down a little bit? Did they really come to an agreement? I haven't looked into the contract details. I don't know if they're available yet, exactly how this works. Someone who did say on our After Dark show, if he takes a job, that will pay out some of the difference, basically, or help towards the buyout. I'm not sure how that works. we will have to see how that all turns out because, again, even the buyout estimates were $49 to $56 million. That's a lot of money. I mean, if you think that's a lot of money. I know colleges are making tons of money these days with the boosters, the TV contracts. Obviously, if you get the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. You get all these bonuses and perks and a lot of extra money, but that's a lot of money. If he waited to the end of the year, I think it would have gone down 10 million or something. It would have gone down. Every year it goes down, pretty dramatically, usually. I mean, again, I have nothing against James Franklin, so I don't want anyone to think here I'm like shitting on James Franklin. I'm not. But what does Penn State really want to do? Did they just see like these other teams going this route with firing their coaches already early in the season, which we have seen more over the last 5-6 years, I would say. It's been much more prominent that we have started to see these coaching firings earlier in the season. Obviously, some of them were already like pretty much dead in the water anyway. So as soon as they started badly, it was like, yeah, just end it, end the pain. But I mean, James Franklin just went to the semifinals last year. So I mean, let's talk about that for a second. This is a guy who constantly wins 10 games, if not 11. Got to the semifinals and lost on the last second field goal, or he would have been in the national title game. And outside of like 1 or 2 years, has been very, very consistent at Penn State in winning. The problem is, I understand, and I know someone's going to bring this up later or comment on it later. It's fine. And we all understand. He doesn't win the important ones. As they say, he wins against the teams he should win against. Granted. This year, I do understand. But 1 year removed, not even a year removed, just this part of the season removed from going to the semifinals, you lost that same type of game again at home, double overtime heartbreaker like the intro to Oregon. Then you admittedly said we didn't get over that loss and get embarrassed basically on the road against a winless at that point UCLA team who had fired their coach. And then you come back home and get manhandled. I mean, manhandled by an average Northwestern team. Average. And then you lose your starting quarterback who didn't go to the NFL draft because he was like, nah, I kind of come back and we're gonna win, and we're gonna win a national title. Woof. All you can say about that. Absolute woof. So you have to look at this. And I was gonna. My topics are a little out of order here. I have to ask, and I think the chat chime in later on during it or in the comments below. The thing with Penn State was, yes, this had felt like it was coming for a little bit, but it could be righted. Like James Franklin could right the ship at Penn State. But in doing this, it's a bold move. Sometimes programs think, okay, we'll get rid of this, we'll get something better, and we'll achieve the next level. But we talked about it on the After Dark show, which, by the way, it's this Sunday night. Also, again, we will be making fun of all of your teams, including mine. If we lose, hey, I make fun of my team. I compliment the other team. But we talked about it on the After Dark show. What did Penn State potentially, in making this type of move, just, as we said, Pelini themselves. Who does Penn State get realistically that can take what James Franklin was giving them every year on average, granted, this year was maybe the outlier in a way. Who can they get that's going to elevate that program to that next level? Not stay at the same level. Now, we're not talking about someone who's going to go, oh, we're going to win them 10 games a year. That's the point. That's the point. Like, otherwise, what did you do? You got rid of a guy that got you 10 wins a game for no reason. Outside maybe a cheaper option, but you just had to pay the buyout, so it didn't really benefit you at all. And so, and for anyone who's like Pelini themselves, what do you mean Pelini themselves? So remember, Bo Pelini at Nebraska, solid coach overall. Always won, I guess, on average 8 to 10 games a year, 8 to 10. Let's leave it at that average 8 to 10 years a game. But the boosters didn't like him. He was rough around the edges. There was that like locker room tape or recording that was released. Basically, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it set everyone off in the wrong way. And so Nebraska got rid of him. What has Nebraska done since then? Absolutely fucking nothing. I mean, they didn't go bowling for like a decade. So I know every team gets in this mindset, hey, we just replaced the guy, we'll find someone better, and things will work out. We're Penn State, we can do this. Well, that's what Nebraska said too. And hasn't been working out so good. Even in Matt Rule's this year's looking better, but is it to the expectations? But how long did it take you to find out? That's the thing. That's why there's this. Did Penn State just maybe just screw themselves? It's hard to say. Hard to say. I'm not defending James Franklin. I'm not defending the firing. I'm not defending the not firing of him. It's just an interesting situation because you never know what is going to happen when you make this type of decision in firing a long-term coach like that who is generally relatively successful and consistent. So, I guess the main question was, and I have said this openly as an Oregon fan, I have said if we didn't have Dan Lanning, which I still would stick with Dan Lanning, I would want Kirk Scinetti if we had a crap ass coach or just fired ours for whatever reason, I would be like, go get Scinetti. Well, Penn State, if that was your plan, you're done. Not happening. Kirk Scinetti is to stay at Indiana, as Indiana did immediately after that Oregon win, basically, and the James Franklin firing, renew his contract. And I will pull that up here in just a second. But yeah, good luck with that. I mean, we asked this on, again, the After Dark show. Would a guy like Scinetti at his age want to take a Penn State job? Why? You just built Indiana into this. Now Indiana's, tripled down on you. Like, no, we want you. Penn State just did this buyout. They can't afford. And we don't even know about the assistant coaches of Penn State, about their money deal or how that's going to work. I don't think they can pay top dollar for a coach. I know they have donors. I know they have alums. And I get this, but that's a lot of money. A lot. So let me look at this real quick here. I'll pull it up. And we will look at this really, really fast because it was interesting. and notable. So I will do a little side work here on this in a second. So it was released, I believe it was just yesterday. Indiana did renew Kurt Signetti for 8 years to make him. I mean, I'm not going to argue. Guess what? They wanted to keep their coach. They want to invest in him and make sure he knows that they want him. He's now one of definitely the highest paid coaches in college football. And I liked this part of it. And this is what we talked about on the After Dark show also. This was Signetti's statement. I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier. I thought that was the kind of like your final statement of what we thought is that Kurt Signetti doesn't want to go anywhere. If he's winning there, again, he's 64, 65 years old. He's reached this now level of success. He's just rebuilt Indiana from nothing into this in a year and a half, basically. Let's put it that way. Why would you go anywhere else? Especially if they're willing to pony up probably equal, if not maybe more than Penn State, because Penn State just put themselves in a freaking hole money-wise, potentially. So why would you leave maybe just a perfect situation for yourself? It's like one of those guys that just lands in the right spot and everything just falls into place. That would be stupid. Absolutely stupid. So, congratulations to Signetti on that because, like I said, I would definitely want to snag you as my head coach if we didn't have like Lanning right now. And hey, I love Signetti. I like him. So good for Indiana. But that brings the whole point is, where does Penn State go now? Where are they looking at? Because I think everyone in their right mind said they're looking at Signetti, potentially. Fair enough. Well, that's not happening now. That's definitely not happening right now, unless there's some weird clause of a cheap buyout, something stupid in a contract. That's not happening. Absolutely not happening. So that's off the table. It's not going to be Andy Kotelnicki. That guy's been like half the problem for your team this season, at least. Offensively, like slow starts, all that. You brought in Jim Knowles, who I think most people assumed year one, it would be interesting to see what he does with the defense. That guy's going to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's probably already writing a contract up, hopefully to give to his agent as an offer. That guy's going to Oklahoma State. He's already been there as a DC. So who is Penn State going to get? What fits at Penn State? Everyone's going to say Urban Meyer. After Penn State's scandals in the past, do you really want to deal with Urban Meyer? Probably not. Does Urban Meyer want to deal with that? Probably not. Nick Saban, got it. Cool. Shoot out the name. Got it. Why not? Do it. Not going to happen. I'm sorry. Nick Saban left Alabama as basically the king of college football. Why would he want to go to Penn State? I get it. At least both those coaches coached in the area. Nick Saban at Michigan State before, Urban Meyer obviously Ohio State. So at least they kind of know the area. That makes a little geographical sense and location and all that. I get that, but they're pretty cozy and just chilling, like they got other things to worry about. So who are you going to get? You're not getting. I don't even know who else, because Penn State will not hire unless Penn State just dramatically changes route and hires some like top-level G5 coach, which this year, I mean, the guy from USF, but he's on a lot of people's radars. His name is escaping me right now for some reason. I can see his face, but the guy from USF, who else is the G5 are you even going to get to fill a spot like Penn State? That's your thing. It's not just, we're going to take a shot on this guy. Because Penn State fans will not accept that, and they shouldn't. So what does that leave? Power 4 coordinators? P4 coordinators, like everyone, of course, the always the popular one. Will Stein. Yes, we know Will Stein's on everyone's list. We get this. Will Stein's never been a head coach, though. He's been officially an OC full-time for 3. This is his 3rd season. I still don't think that would make Penn State fans happy. So who are you going to go get? Please tell me, please dump the bag on Jimbo Fisher. Please. You want to sink your program. Jimbo has enough money. You don't need that crap. But who are you going to get that fits your region, your tradition kind of style, all of that, and has the experience and meets the expectations of your university and your fan base? So right now, to me, there's no one that really stands out. I'm sure there's a couple surprising off the radar ones, like, yeah, we could get that guy and we'll see what happens. But is there one person that Penn State could go out, offer a job to, and they'd be interested? I'm just having a hard time with this. You aren't getting, obviously, like a Kalen DeBoer. He's going to be at Alabama. They probably wouldn't want him. Oh, God. Missouri's head coach, Drinkowitz. He's happy in Missouri. You're not going to get him. He's still a good coach. Probably a good candidate, actually. But why would he leave Missouri or Penn State? Sorry. It wouldn't make any sense to me. Who are you going to get that would make sense or not seem like a heavy reach where you're just hoping it works? Because that's what Penn State wants, is someone they know they're going to bring in, and maybe year one it'll be a little rough rebuilding the recruiting trail, because the recruiting trail is, I'm sure it's just absolutely gone to shit now for this next season, and probably even 2027. It's probably already in the dumpster fire. But who are you going to get that after year one, year two, you're going to see that immediate jump? I don't know. I don't know. There's not a ton of amazing options of guys that have head coaching experience or that would be available. And again, if you're going after a coordinator, those people do not have the experience of a head coach. At least most of them. Obviously, there are some examples of people that do, like Gus Malzahn, etc. There are coordinators that have head coaching experience, obviously, but most of them don't. Not at that level, anyways. Let's put it that way. They might have been like G5 or FCS head coaches, and they went up to be an OC. So who can Penn State realistically get? What type of guy are they targeting? Because the problem with it is, one of the issues, I think, was something like what Penn State really kind of wants is, like I said, they don't want to deal with maybe the drama of Urban Meyer, and maybe he doesn't want to deal with that type of background either. On their end, Kirk Cignetti's cocky shit, deservedly so. Remember he wins. Google him. That statement. Then you get James Franklin, who's a nice guy, but just constantly gives the same type of excuses every time they lose. Every time. So what does Penn State really want? Young, flashy, unproven, take a risk? Or do they need to find that established veteran head coach that can, change the dynamics or hopefully the fortune of their program? It would be interesting to see if there's Penn State fans watching anytime later on or during this later on or whatever that would let us know what would be preferred. Take a shot and hope you get the splash higher and hit the needle in the haystack type of guy, or take a safe bet and try to get someone with experience. It's tough to say. It's really tough to say, especially because, again, there's multiple job openings opening too. And you have to look at what type of other jobs are open. UCLA, I think, should not screw themselves. Keep 2-year interim tag this staff you have now and keep them and see what happens. You got nothing else to lose. Wisconsin's probably going to open. Wisconsin's a good job. It's not Penn State level necessarily, but it's a good job. Obviously, we just talked about there's Oregon State, which Oregon State's on the downslide. Some people mentioned Montana State coach, not a bad grab from the FCF for Oregon State, and then Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech's got a great fan base. So there are other openings available, and there's gonna be probably one or two more. So Penn State had to make a decision, and that seems what they did. They just said, we're done with this nonsense. But who can they realistically go? What are they looking for? That's the ultimate question right now. Now, I haven't even finished this beer. I'm parched. It's me talking for 30 minutes straight. So I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below in this video later on. If you could share this out on your socials, I appreciate it. I will try to find out what happened to Spaz because I don't know. I texted him, then I called him. Nothing. Who knows? I assume he was taking a nap or something, but doesn't sound too bad right now, actually. So I guess we will see. More news will come out here in the next few days, probably. Potentially of new candidates. It's going to be interesting, and the likelihood of landing said candidates. Maybe we'll get more contract information with the buyout, see exactly what it was, because that's a lot of money to the average person. I get it to university these days. Maybe that's almost nothing, but at the same time, that's a large chunk of money to just dole out. I get it over 5-6 years or whatever, but it's still a lot of money that they could put into other things. So I do appreciate everyone being here. Kind of make me a little short just because it's by myself. But I think we covered a lot of ground. We talked a lot of topics, named some names, and we'll see what happens. I do appreciate it again. If you can, hit the like button quickly. And make sure to check out the Oregon post-game show right here on the Quacking Out channel. Tomorrow, following the game at Rutgers. Spaz and I will be live for that. Or at least I will be, I guess. And then Sunday night, we have the After Dark show scheduled for also 9:15 p.m. Central right here on the Quacking Out channel. So do check out the After Dark show. We will try to do that weekly, especially during the season. Hopefully a little bit on the off season too. We'll figure that out as it comes. We're only basically halfway in the season. So I appreciate everyone coming in. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Enjoy football tonight and enjoy all your football games tomorrow. As I will be too. So thanks everyone, and see you all tomorrow night following the Rutgers game, and have fun. Thank you again.